My clock says it's 4 o'clock. On July 8th, 2024, I call to order the City Council special meeting to consider 2 or 3 special agenda items. Item 2.1, shall I open both? Item 2.1, presentation, discussion, possible action on the FY 2024 and 2025 proposed budget. And 2.1, presentation, discussion, possible action on calling a public hearing on the City of College Station FY 2024-2025 proposed budget for Thursday, July 25th, 2024 at 6 p.m. in City Hall Council Chambers. Ms. Leonard.
And Mayor, I'll just real quickly just say a couple of words and then see if City Manager Woods, who is joining us remotely, would like to say anything. And again, this is the first part, the first formal step, the next formal step in the budget process, which is to present the proposed budget to the City Council. And then for the City Council to call the public hearing on the proposed budget, and so those are the 2 items that will be considered this afternoon. And we'll go through a little bit of the calendar in a bit. And with that, City Manager Woods, I don't know if you had any comments you'd like to make at this point.
Do I hear him out there somewhere?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, I really don't have much other than just to say we're excited to present the budget. Obviously, this is just a initial first step, but we've got some really good things to present, and video and presentations that I think will help the community understand what we're proposing and the council understand, and looking forward to going through the process.
Thank you. If that's, with that introduction, it looked like Ms. Leonard is stepping forward. Welcome. We do have our budget books here.
On behalf of the management of the City of College Station, including the City Manager's Office and the entire management team, I am pleased to present to you a proposed FY25 budget. The budget for FY25 is $540,511,673. Compared to FY24, the operating and maintenance budget has increased approximately 2.5%, while the capital budget portion has increased about 29%. Most of the time I stand up here and we do death by PowerPoint, where I give you slide after slide and explain to you at a very high level what is in this budget. But every year we try to move this a little bit forward and give you a little bit more modern take on where our budget is. So with that, we'd like to present to you a video that outlines what is included in the FY25 budget. And this was prepared by our lovely friends in public communications.
Planning a city budget typically begins with a close look at the current and projected population. For a unique city like College Station, that conversation always starts with Texas A&M, the nation's largest university. With an enrollment approaching 80,000, A&M's rapid expansion increasingly strains essential city services, including public safety and utilities. Meanwhile, College Station's population grows by about 2,500 residents annually. We're on track to surpass 130,000 residents in 2025, a 30% increase since 2010. As areas of the city become more densely populated, Northgate is the most vivid example, city services must expand to meet demand. The good news is that a property tax rate increase is not proposed for FY25. As a responsible steward of your tax dollars, College Station maintains one of the lowest tax rates in Texas. And electric or wastewater rates won't rise either. Rates for solid waste collection, drainage, and roadway maintenance are indexed to inflation. But what about water, public safety, outside agency funding? How can the city keep its dedicated employees? Finally, what about the impact of inflation? And how does this budget set the stage for future budgets? Those are the critical decision points for the FY25 budget. It's no surprise that an expanding population needs more water. But to secure an adequate supply, 3 new wells are required. The price tag? nearly $70 million. To help fund these critical projects, a 10% increase in water rates is proposed for FY25. The last water rate increase was 5 years ago. In the 2022 bond election, College Station voters overwhelmingly approved a 7th fire station for the growing south area of town. The bonds cover construction, but recurring costs of about $2.5 million will be needed to cover pay and benefits for 24 firefighters when the station opens in 2026. Part of that cost will be covered in FY25 through a future budget amendment. In 2026, additional resources must be considered to make the new fire station fully operational. Meanwhile, the police department needs more officers to handle greater demands and keep our expanding community among the nation's safest. The department plans to add 3 officers and 4 total positions in FY25 and 5 more the following year. Supporting our community sometimes means helping to fund agencies such as the Brazos County Health Department and others that benefit residents. An annual examination of these relationships and the cost benefit of each is critical. The city competes with other employers for the best and most skilled workers. Attracting and retaining a qualified workforce is a continual challenge. City leaders are committed to offering attractive compensation and benefits to attract new workers and keep our talented long-term employees. Helping the city workforce cope with inflation remains a priority. The FY25 budget addresses many other significant areas, including traffic management, roads, affordable housing, alternative transportation, city facilities, and parks. At the same time, city leaders are also focused on strategic initiatives to enhance our quality of life and set a steady foundation for our community's continued success. And don't forget the essential capital projects across College Station. You'll see many more in 2025 as we expand our infrastructure and make necessary upgrades. As if population growth weren't challenging enough, the significant effects of inflation persist. Although inflation has moderated in the last year, the cost of goods and services has increased by about 20% since 2021. The Council will examine the proposed budget in depth in a series of workshops at City Hall from July 15th through the 17th. We also invite you to a public budget open house at City Hall from 6 to 8 p.m. on Monday, July 22nd, and a public hearing at the July 25th regular council meeting. Adoption of the tax rate and budget is tentatively set for August 22nd. For complete budget information, go to cstx.gov/FY25budget.
So with that, you have the FY25 budget. You've been emailed a soft copy. You have hard copies at your places. There is a revised website that will launch tomorrow morning where citizens will be able to download and review the budget at the same time as well.
Okay. Questions for council, for Ms. Leonard at this time from council, other than accepting that we got a proposed budget and we'll look at it? Ms. Cunha.
Hey, Ms. Leonard, is there a hard copy at the public library of this document?
There will be tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Yancey?
Mayor Nichols, what types of questions would you constrain us to this evening?
I would suggest that we read the budget first, and then we can talk about that at the next the meetings on Monday, Tuesday, and possibly Wednesday of next week on anything that's in the proposed budget. That would be appropriate. I don't think there's, since none of us have really delved into it, that this is a time to debate items in there, but if you have a comment, I'd more than welcome it.
Well, I've read page 1, and I just thought I might ask Mr. Kirsten a question relative to the general fund, if that's okay.
Okay, yeah.
I noticed the beginning fund, in the general fund, the beginning fund balance changed from $74,688,000 from $46,783,000, and I'm just curious. That's a big delta, and I'm wondering what accounts for it.
Well, and we can certainly get into all of the particulars on that. Really a couple of things going on there. One, there are some revenue streams that have come in higher than we have anticipated, and came in higher in FY '23 as well. And then we have also had some of our expenditures are not being projected necessarily at what the budget level was, just for a variety of reasons. We have also had some one-time revenues that have come in through some sales of property and those sorts of things. Those are just a few of the examples. And again, we can certainly delve into that in as much detail as y'all would like about what's causing some of that change in that overall fund balance.
That's a great answer. I thank you very much, sir. That's all I had. Mayor Nichols.
Ms. Harvell?
So in the years past, when we've had to deal with inflation, especially when COVID hit, and we were trying to get new ambulances and fire trucks and police cars and everything else, what was the percentage of inflation we calculated at that time? Because now we're saying 20%, is that what I heard?
No, that's over a period of time. That 20% is over a period of time. The inflation factor that is included in the FY '25 budget is 3.5%.
Okay, I just want to make sure we have enough. Thank you.
Mr. Smith?
Sure, one question. I think the video was a great presentation. And is that going to be available on our website? Will it be?
It will launch with the new website tomorrow morning.
Okay, thank you.
I must congratulate you on that voiceover. I think I recognize that from a
That is not
distant
me.
past. I know.
See, you don't have to
But I-
listen to me all the
Well,
time.
it would have been nice if it was you too, but that voice is an echo from the past, and I'm happy to hear that gentleman's still available to us for special projects.
Friends in low places.
Okay, we have, any more questions on 2.1? We don't have to vote on that, because we're just accepting. We aren't going to debate it now, but we will be voting on it later this summer. Item 2.2, however, is the one where we do need to call a public hearing. Ms. Leonard, do you have some further direction on that?
There is not a separate presentation related to that item. That item really is based off of some legal deadlines from when you receive the budget, when we need to adopt it. It's the date that we need to have a public hearing related to just the budget, where the public has had an opportunity to review the information that's in here and come in and voice their opinion. Right now, we have that set for a regular council meeting on July 25th, and we just need your concurrence that that's a good date.
Okay, and the public does have the meeting on Monday, the 22nd, which will be an open house.
Correct, that we're
And
going to
they-
hold an open house this time for the first year.
And those who wish could attend the workshop items on the 15th and 16th,
Correct.
and maybe on the 17th, depending on how the schedule goes. Okay, well, the chair will entertain a motion on item 2.2 regarding the setting a public hearing for the City College Station FY 2024-2025 proposed budget on Thursday, July 25th, 2024 at 6 p.m. in the City Hall of Council Chambers. Motion made by Ms. Harvell,
Second.
second by Mr. Smith. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? We now have a date set for the public hearing, and with no other business, I will declare this meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.